B-L-D-E-N.
W-A-L-D-E-N. Today's July 19th, isn't it? All day. Unless it rains.
Really hot.
He said you ought to get him started on Durant. He'll tell you more about it than that bridge.
Well, we're going to talk about that too. When's your birthday?
February the 28th.
She like not a band.
Well, this year wasn't on this
28 days.
There was 29.
And you were born in
Stone County, Arkansas.
what year?
18 and 98.
1898. Yeah, that's a good picture.
I imagine it is.
You see her.
Now, if it's a good picture, I'd like to see it. I'll always take a...
It's right there.
Yeah.
Who's your father?
Franklin Murphy.
Oh,
Gosh, what they do.
oh, that's just, no, that's just the microphone headset.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I should have told you about it.
I should have looked. I didn't see
Well,
that
you
hole.
can see the little wire.
Let me go back over yonder where I belong.
There's some things down there in the
Oh,
floor.
I'll pick him up later.
I'll get over here where I belong.
His name was Franklin.
Murphy.
Murphy, M-U-R-P-H-R-E-E.
M-U-R-P-H-E-E.
R-E-E.
Okay. Who's your mother?
Catherine Murphy, C-A-T, Catherine, it's not spelled with a K, it's spelled with a C.
What was her maiden name?
Greenaway.
Greenway?
Mm-hmm.
And where were they from?
Well, he was from Alabama, and I believe she was born in Arkansas. Birmingham, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Any of your family in the Civil War that you know of?
Yes, I believe my daddy was in, he was young, but he was in some of it, and his brothers were.
Which side?
Well, he's Southern, I don't,
Southern?
yeah.
You ever talk about that?
Well, not too much, because I was the youngest one of the family. See, I didn't know very much.
And you were born in Stone County, Arkansas.
Mm.
What kind of house did you live in?
In Arkansas?
Yeah.
Well, really, I really don't know. I've been back there, but the house was gone.
Yeah. And why did the family move to Indian Territory?
Well, I think it was on account of school and work.
School and work. What kind of work did your father do?
He was a preacher and a farmer.
He was a circuit preacher, rode a horse.
Old-timey preacher.
You ever go around with him?
Well, I've gone to church, yes.
He met on those trips.
Yeah, he was.
Well, like he'd be preaching out here in the country somewhere, I'd go. We'd go.
How'd you travel?
He rode a horse. Of course, we did later get a buggy. One horse. It seemed like I remember one horse.
And why'd you move to Durant?
On account of school and work.
So there were better schools here in Durant?
Yeah, better schools here than there was in Arkansas where we live. I only went to school in Arkansas 1 year.
There wasn't much of town of Durant though when y'all
No, it
moved
wasn't
here.
very much here then.
How'd you travel from Arkansas to
By
Durant?
train.
By train. Tell me about the trip.
Well, there's not very much I can remember about it because I wasn't but 7 years old. So, all I can remember is just riding on the train and getting off, and we stayed at the, what is it, used to be the Atwood Hotel, is that it? The first night I ever stayed in Durham, it was at the Atwood Hotel, I think. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, I know it is, 'cause Herman was talking about it this morning. Said he could tell him about the old Atwood Hotel, and he could tell about post office where it used to be. I don't know. He told a
It
whole
was down in
mess.
town, on
He
what
told
kind
a
of where
whole
the city
mess
hall
this
is now.
morning.
And then we moved to the, out Bushnell, went to school at Bushnell for years, and then finally moved to
Okay.
Meade. Lived there when I married.
What did Durant look like when you first came here?
Well, I just can't remember too much about it. And we didn't have any, there wasn't any sidewalks. I
Muddy
remember
streets.
that. There's mud, no pavement at all. No sidewalks, and there's mud.
I was going to ask, what were the streets like when it rained?
Mud.
How'd you get around?
How
Didn't
you
get
get around
around.
in mud? Wagons mostly. There wasn't too many cars.
There
you
wasn't. I remember the first car that I saw. It was a Ford. Was out south of town.
What'd you think of it?
Well, I thought it was wonderful to have something to get around in.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who the car belonged to. It was, of course, it was a Ford T model, I guess. Is that what the first one came out?
Yeah.
Model T.
On the farm, what chores did you do?
Oh, I picked cotton and things like chopped cotton, things like that.
How many pounds could you pick in one day?
Well, later on in years, I got to where I could do pretty good. I could pick 200 pounds.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
They never would let me plow, though. I wanted to plow, but they wouldn't let me.
Why?
Well, because you could ride. They never would let me do that. I had two brothers, and they did that.
So you had a sulky plow?
Yeah.
They ever use a walking plow, your brothers?
Oh, yeah. But everywhere they went, I thought I was supposed to go.
She is a baby head type.
What are the chores you do besides picking cotton?
Oh, washing dishes. Milk. Sometimes it'd milk, not often, because they did that.
How'd you do laundry?
Oh,
On the
how do you
bowl.
think?
Tell me how did you make your own soap?
Oh, my mother did.
How'd she make it?
With lye, grease, and a wash pot.
And then would you tell me how you did laundry from, heating the water, what'd you do?
Put it in a wash pot out in the
Black
yard.
pot.
And boiled it.
Build
let
a
it
fire.
And then did you scrub the clothes, boil the clothes, or what'd you do?
Boiled them.
Rinsed
Rubbed them on a rub board and then boiled them.
Rinsed them, hung them out.
Now it's trouble to push a button. I put mine on the washing machine and won't even start. Waits for me to get out there and then push the button for it.
Well, you'll have a rowboat one of these days that he'll do it for you.
I mean, he's going to have to hurry up.
What about ironing?
Well, we iron with a flat iron,
He's
On
in the
the-
fireplace sometime.
put it on the stove.
He's
Yeah.
in the fireplace sometime.
How many irons did you have?
Oh, 2 or 3.
2 or 3? How much of a shirt or a dress could you iron before you had to change irons?
Oh, I don't remember that. Not too much. Because iron gets cool pretty quick.
You make your own starch?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you do that?
No, my mother did that. She made it with flour and
Water.
water some way. Mixed the flour and boiled it some way. I don't remember that.
Now you said that, how long did you stay in Durant before you moved to Meade?
Well, I didn't stay in Durant at all. We lived in the country
Where?
until I married.
How far from what?
Out at Bushnell.
And he don't know where Bushnell is. It's about, what, 10 miles?
No, it's about 4 miles, 5 miles.
Southeast of Durham.
Lived out on this Highway 70, on that hill out there, and came to walk to school here in Durant. Went to high school here in Durant. After we moved from out at Bushnell, we moved out just out on the outside of town. It's almost in town now.
And what year did you graduate from high school?
I didn't graduate. I married before I graduated. I quit in the 10th grade.
10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do for recreation in those years?
Well, there wasn't very much recreation to do.
Or did you have dances or?
Well, they had dances, but I didn't go to them.
Had square dancing mostly.
What kind of games you play in school?
Hopscotch, black man, hide and seek.
Ball. Well, different kind of balls. We didn't play very much over here in high school. Or we didn't. This was then just about like it is now.
And where'd you meet your husband?
Here in Durant,
What was his name?
O.W. Walden,
O.W. Walden. And when'd you get married?
1915.
1915. Oh, I was going to ask, do you remember statehood day?
November the 7th, 1907, wasn't it?
November 16th, 1907.
16th? I thought it was the 7th.
What is 1907?
1907.
Yeah,
60.
1907. Well, I was thinking it's November the 7th.
Was there a big celebration that day?
Well, I just don't remember that. See, I was out in the country, and I was only a year older then,
You would have been, what, 8 years old?
about 8 years old. And it's hard to remember what I did yesterday, much less that far back.
So what kind of work did your husband do?
He worked for Culver's Ice Cream for years.
What did he do?
Made ice cream.
He did.
Mhm.
How did he make it?
And he worked here in the public school as a
Custodian.
custodian at Robert E. Lee School for 25 years.
Tell me about what you did during World War I.
Didn't do very much. We lived in Ada then.
Did you? So some of the women knitted and some wrapped bandages and
Well, I didn't do very much of that because I had 2 babies to take care of.
how about the flu epidemic?
Well, I had the flu, typhoid, pneumonia during that fall. It was bad, 1918.
Was that an Ada?
Ada. Mm-hmm.
Did many people die in that area?
Oh yeah.
What?
They didn't think I was going to live.
What caused that flu? Where did it come from?
I don't know.
Remember any medicine that they used, they gave you?
They didn't give me anything to eat. I had that typhoid fever, you see.
How about the Depression in the 1930s?
Oh, it was terrible.
How did that affect you and your family?
Well, it was hard to say. We just barely got by. Sometimes you get a job for $1 a day, and sometimes you couldn't. And they had 5 children in school, but we survived. That's all I can say. We weren't the only ones. Everybody was in the same boat.
What about World War II?
Well, of course, times were better then because wages were better, and I had 2 sons who was in it.
Was your husband World War I?
No, he worked for ice cream, you see, and that was considered food.
I'll have to watch this year. Come right in.
That's what I said. Come in.
That's her daughter.
Hello.
Hi.
That's
How you
Mr. Todd.
doing?
That's
Oh.
Oka Pearson from California. She's another old California.
Somebody's dropping
Well, it
Oh,
belongs.
that's right.
No, it
alligator
belongs.
clip, we call
No,
it.
it belongs to his stuff.
He's making a history of me, and he's going to let everybody know it.
Well, go right ahead.
When you were a small girl, what kind of mischief did you get into?
Anything I could find.
Now be honest. Tell them more.
I didn't get in too much mischief because I didn't have anybody to go with me. I was in the country. So it wasn't very much to get into. Not like it is now.
What kind of house did you have in the country? Have you
Oh, we just had a frame farmhouse.
How big was it?
Oh. Now this is before I married, you understand?
Yeah.
Oh, about 4 rooms. Best I remember.
And do you have a well?
Oh yeah.
And how far from the house was the well?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have to carry water?
No, we didn't have carried on them from the well, but the well wasn't very far from the house.
Now, when you did laundry, how long did it take to draw enough water to do the laundry?
I couldn't tell you about that.
You do it inside or outside?
Outside.
Now, did you use the old black cast iron kettles to do laundry in?
Oh yeah.
How long did it take to do the laundry?
Well, half a day.
Half a day. And which day?
Well, after I don't know.
Monday, or just whatever you needed?
Well, after I'm married, I did my laundry on Wednesday. Hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I just remember, you know, 'cause at my grandma's house where she lived, they had the well, it was a long
One
little
of them
bucket, it was a long
sand
pipe
bucket.
thing.
Yeah.
And they also kept their milk and butter and stuff cool by letting it down inside the
Yeah.
well.
I was going to ask that. Yeah. Tell us about that.
That was the icebox storage.
Well, it was just about as good as it is when it comes out of the refrigerator now.
Now, what did you have the milk and butter in down in the well?
I had it in buckets and things with lids sealed.
Was that a drilled well or a dug well?
It was a dug well.
How big was it?
Oh,
Those long pipe ones wasn't too big.
oh, well, the one out where we lived out at Meade was a dug well. It was.
Well, I know, but they wasn't the pipes wasn't too big, where you
Well,
had a big
that's
old
not-
water bucket.
You couldn't put milk down in those. That's out of the question. You had to have a dug well to put milk down in.
Yeah, well, it was.
Those
I could-
others just about that big around.
I could fall down in it.
No, you might when you was little. There's a little girl that did, but
Little girl that did.
well, it was in the paper here several years ago. The little girl fell in one of those wells.
Kind of wells.
And
Not
it-
any of ours here.
No, it was what in Arizona, somewhere, Mexico.
Okay. Oh, did your mother make all your clothes?
Yes.
What kind of machine did she have?
Well, treadle machine.
Did you sew too?
No. I did after I married, but I didn't before.
What did you raise on the farm besides cotton?
Corn and oats. Didn't raise no peanuts.
Do you have a truck garden or vegetable garden?
Oh yeah.
How big is it?
I have no idea. Just a garden.
What was your favorite chore on the farm?
Nothing.
Well, I didn't mind work. I didn't have any favorite, I'll tell you.
What was your least favorite chore?
No, I didn't mind picking cotton.
Yeah, but 200 pounds a day.
I really don't know.
Tell me about the smokehouse.
Smokehouse where we kept our meat.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we just killed hogs and smoked it some way. I don't remember. I didn't do any of that myself.
You didn't help with the butcher?
Well, I remember seeing them kill the hog, but I didn't have any part in that.
What time of year would they butcher?
Oh, after Thanksgiving, after it turned real cold.
He wants to know if you want to come on over to the library that you'll get all the information on over there.
Oh,
He'll meet you over there,
okay.
if you know where the library is.
I'll find it.
Right away?
Oh, tell him about 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, he won't do it.
Oh, well, tell him we're in the middle of another interview.
Well.
Tell him he can come now.
He said it'd be 25 minutes anyway.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
we raised chickens.
Oh, I was gonna ask, what kind of stove did your mother have in the kitchen?
Wood stove.
Did you,
Hmm?
who got the wood for the stove?
Boys cut them.
The boys did that.
How long did they cut the wood?
We had a good fireplace around there.
Oh, I'd say about 18 inches. I really don't know.
Tell me about some meals that your mother fixed those years. What was your favorite food that she fixed?
Fried chicken,
Gravy.
biscuits.
Did you clean the chickens?
Oh yeah.
How you clean a chicken? Tell me how you do it.
How we fed them? Just took the grain out and threw it out in the yard.
And then how'd you clean them? What'd you do?
You mean when they killed them to eat 'em?
Yep.
Well, just dipped them in scalding water, like they do it where they. Did you ever see a place where they kill chickens?
No, ma'am.
Well, I don't want to see it anymore.
Plucked the feathers. They saved the
Now, how do you kill the chicken?
And their neck off.
I chopped the red dog.
Maybe we saved the feathers, didn't we?
No.
Oh, Grandma did for pillows.
Well, she might have, but I didn't.
Feather
That's
beige.
all we're talking about here.
I saw them kill chickens. They puncture their neck and then put them on a string and take them through and then let them go down and
That's
boil
them
them
big-
in this hot water before they're even dead.
That's
I've
them big
seen
chicken hatcheries.
that. They did that over at Denison.
That's
That's
a lot of
where they dressed them for stores and things.
And how many children did you have?
5.
5.
She's one of them, and she has a twin brother.
You have transportation of the wagon.
Yeah.
You know,
How many wagons did your father have on the farm?
One,
One. What kind was it?
I don't know, just a wagon.
Remember any work he had to do to keep the wagon going?
I don't remember anything about that.
Tell about the fireplace in the house.
Yeah, the fireplace.
Yeah, we had a fireplace at Meade. We didn't have no fireplace anywhere else.
That's what we're talking about. We had a kettle over there.
How'd you celebrate Christmas when you were a small girl?
Not very much.
What kind of toys did you get?
If I got a doll, I was lucky.
What kind of doll was it?
Just a doll.
Was it the China head doll or
Yeah, China.
you still have yours?
No. I wish I did.
What about Thanksgiving?
We usually just had a regular meal. Didn't celebrate then like we do now.
What was the biggest holiday of the year?
I think my birthday.
Your birthday.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I was anxious to get 16. The years took a long time to pass then, but it don't now.
Mm-hmm. What about 4th of July?
No, we didn't celebrate 4th of July.
You didn't.
No.
Do they celebrate Juneteenth down here?
Not now.
Not now.
They used to, but they don't, you don't do it.
What is it?
Color Day.
Colored,
June.
colored
Yeah.
people. I thought it was the 19th.
19's what I.
Well, he said June 19.
Well, they call it
Yes,
Juneteenth.
Yeah,
I
Juneteenth.
they
thought, I thought he
celebrate?
said 16.
No, Juneteenth, they call
How'd
it.
they celebrate?
Yeah,
What'd they do?
I don't remember.
They just celebrate on their own. That's all I remember.
Didn't have too many back then.
There wasn't as many then as there is now. And they didn't take as,
They don't
they
do
wasn't
it.
as active then as they are now.
Well, they don't do it now.
No. Well, I think some of them do.
I have said that.
Do you remember what unit your father was in the Civil War?
No.
Where's he buried?
Out here at Highland Cemetery.
Here in Duane?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me some more about Durant in the early days. We talked about, you know, the muddy streets. There are no sidewalks. What did the buildings look like downtown? Were they stone, wood, brick?
Well, some of them were stone and some of them were not.
Wood.
There wasn't very many stores in town. And you,
She lived, would
And the wagon yard was a great attraction.
well, that was on Market Square.
Would you describe the wagon yard? What is it?
Well, it's where the produce place is now. And there used to be a well and a tree over there, best I remember. And people would go there, you know, on Saturday afternoon and park their wagons. And then there was also a wagon yard down there. No, it wasn't a wagon yard, it was a mule barn. Used to be a mule barn down there.
sounds like
No, it was on First. wasn't it?
just we,
I thought it was there where the Market Square, where the,
sounds like we don't.
Now, what is the purpose of the wagon yard?
Farmers mostly.
well, I don't know.
That people would park their wagon there and then,
No, I think they had, I think they kept horses there or something.
was it a delivery stable also?
Yeah, it was stable and I think it's where maybe they fed them, you know, and taken care of them, best I remember.
And did people stay overnight in the wagon yards?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
What about bootleggers around here?
Well,
We
that's
don't
about
know.
like they are now, only there wasn't as many because they didn't have as much dope.
Moonshine.
Where do they make all the moonshine around here? You know? Well, do you have any questions?
Well, I would try to give her some pepper, give her some hint. I was saying out me, the stores out there were wooden, most of them, and they had wooden sidewalks. And I remember that. I used to walk up the walk.
Yeah. Well, I remember when they had wooden sidewalks here at Durant.
When they paved the streets in Durant?
I don't remember.
And when you moved, how long did you live in Ada?
Oh, we lived in Ada 2 different times. We lived there, I'd say about 6 years, 2 different times. That was after married, of course.
Well, good evening. Good evening. And what time you say you'd be here, don't lie to me. You said 4 o'clock. I beat you to it now. Don't say anything.
Watch it, there's a cord down there. I tripped on it. I told you.
I didn't. Who, hers?
No, you. I told you there's a cord there to watch it.
Oh, you can't hear anything.
I tripped over it a while ago and knocked it off.
Well, clumsy you would.
Yeah. Well, I think we have a good interview.
There you go. Look at all that. That's right there.
Let him tell you about Durant. He can tell you more about it than I can.
But if he wants something about the historic society, about a certain thing, that's what he wants to know.
Well, I came down to talk about the bridge and Durant.
Oh, well, Durant's been here 100 years. Plus.
Okay. Thank you. Let me.
You ought to hear her move over and let him over